This is the Ukrainian city of Lviv. That's its current identity, but this is a place that suffered the vicissitudes of history. A century ago, it was part of the Austrian Empire and known as Lemberg. 80 years ago, it was Lvov, one of the largest cities of the Second Polish Republic, and it was also a centre of football excellence. It was here that the first match was played in Poland. It was here that Poland's Football Federation was founded. And it was here that Poland's first great club team emerged. They were called Pogon. Alexander Pauk is a football historian.
In short, the club was just as successful as Manchester United is in England. You should remember that in those days, Lviv had people that came from many different national backgrounds. There were Ukrainians, there were Poles, Jews, Germans, Czechs, Hungarians, and even Italians. It really was a multinational town. I think Lviv must have been the only town of this kind in the world. There were 4 teams representing different nationalities, all playing in Poland's top division.
In 1939, war burst over the city once more. By 1945, the whole region was part of the Soviet Union, and most of the Polish population had moved west to the new borders of their nation.
The club Pogon wasn't just a centre of sporting life. It was also a centre of patriotism, and thanks to the war, it was completely destroyed. However, it wasn't completely forgotten. And, as people of Polish descent are still living in Lviv, we decided to rebuild the club. The process of reactivation began back in 2009. Don't forget that this was a club that was full of tradition, and it was rich with successful sporting memories. I remember that when I was a kid and I was running around my home playing, my grandma used to call me Pogoniom. This means a player from the Pogon team. But of course, at that time, I had absolutely no idea what she meant. But I soon started to get more interested in the history of the club. I began to learn more by browsing on the internet, and I shared what I found with the small Polish community here in Lviv. Information about the existence of a club like this, with such a great history, was fascinating to everyone, and we decided that the club must be rebuilt.
Marek Horban is president of the new Pogon Lviv. They play in Lviv's district championship, and while they're very conscious of their history, they don't limit themselves to players from the small Polish community.
I suppose you could say that this is a method of integration. It's a way for the Polish community to unite, and also a way to unite Poles with the other nationalities that live here. There are 2 Polish schools here in Lviv. Children from those schools are coming to our football club, and I think they're really enjoying being here. They get to know people they probably didn't know before. This is a way for the whole community to come together.
In the 20s, Pogon were the dominant force in Polish football. They were champions 4 times, and their players featured in Poland's national team. Their counterparts today have much to live up to.
I started playing for the team last year, when we were playing at a lower level than we are now. These days, we're playing at the region's highest level, the region's Premier League. Above that, the football becomes fully professional. But here in our region, this is still quite a high level.
The original Pogon may have been swept away in 1939, but those members who survived carried the flame to the new Poland. Several clubs, including former top-flight names such as Pogon Szczecin and Polonia Bytom, were founded by refugees from Lviv and still wear the same blue and red colours. Pogon's revival has caused a stir over the border.
Well, since our revival has become very well known in Poland, one can certainly observe a certain interest in our club from over there. But there's also interest here in Lviv, which, as is well known, was once under Polish rule. There are still a lot of people who have Polish roots here. And that's before we mention the Polish diaspora that is greatly interested in our club. In Poland, the original club is very well known and very famous. Over there, you might say they really love us and hold our name in high regard.
The fact that Poland's original super club has been revived in time for a European Championship hosted by both Poland and Ukraine and featuring matches in the city is certainly significant. However, there's still a long way to go before the name of Pogon once more fills opponents with dread.